Hey guys, welcome to another session of FFBE Global News. So we have Dragon Quest. So if you watched the previous episode of Theorycraft, we did talk about this, that Taiwan released their information early. So we were kind of expecting this. Dragon Quest event is back and collab. And we have a raid event this time with some new units, etc. So here we have our banner E-Stark for our 5 to 7 star unit, and he's the only rainbow on this one. So I mean, there's not a dual rainbow banner, so maybe if you want to pull for him, you have a higher likelihood of getting him as the rainbow. And I think we want to talk about Uber Killing Machine as well. We're going to talk about what they can do, and mostly their TMRs, and whether or not this banner is worth pulling for. And so yes, so starting from Friday, September 7th, we're going to get them, and all the way to Friday the 21st, so 2 weeks just like usual. So E-Stark here, we have some global upgrades as we can see. Super Trust Master is Hell Saber, has attack is 176 attack sword, and enables shocking slash, and what that does is dark damage but also reduces dark resistance for all enemies. Now if it's the same as JP, what the enhancement is really the attack. 176 versus the JP's version is a 168 attack, and shocking slash, if that doesn't change, is a 12 hit AoE, 12 hit, a 2.8 times physical attack modifier, but also imperils by 50% dark resistance for 3 turns. So I believe E-Stark might have a chainable ability. I'm not sure if it's going to be like part of a chain family, but he does have a skill called Lordly Thrust. This one down here, deal partial unmitigated damage to one enemy. It's a 2.5 times physical attack modifier with a 50% ignore defense, so it's a 5 times physical attack. Seems to be around the range of Divine Ruination, but it's 7 hits. I just don't know, personally don't know if the frames match, so he could be an Orlando chainer, Orlando family trainer, I'm not quite sure. But even if he isn't, I suppose it's pretty good. It's about Divine Ruination sort of level type of attack, power-wise. So yeah, so Super Trust Master is a definite improvement. At least I think you get the same amount of attack as Lightning's STMR. But the thing is, obviously pulling for 4 of him is quite risky, as he doesn't have a kit that will really last too long. Seems that he's going to be concentrating on dual wielding anyway, and as most of you know, dual wielders will, unless they have like a really impressive like kit that would help the rest of your team, like Reagan for example, he won't be that helpful. So I personally won't be pulling for him whatsoever. Even his TMR, to me, like if he comes off as an off-banner rainbow, as I'm pulling for the 4-star units, which I'm going to get to, I wouldn't mind it. It's a Trust Master reward, has an upgrade as well. It's a fill LB gauge per turn, and also boost attack when equipped with sword from 50% to 60%. It's not stackable again in global, that's fine, but you get an extra boost in the attack. So, you know, if you have this with like Shadow Lord's TMR that we recently got in FF11, your sword user will definitely get a significant amount of power, especially if you get both of these Trust Masters. They're not stackable, but 60% is really good. And if that's on a dual wielder, you can have that with like Reagan's TMR, and even possibly Adam Jensen's TMR, which has like true dual wield. It has a 60% attack. I mean, so you can really cap your attack passives with just these 4 Trust Masters that I mentioned: Adam Jensen's, E-Stark's, Reagan, or anyone like Reagan, I guess, and Shadow Lord. So sword users, at least in recent banners, seems to have a huge boost in power. So Onion Knight recently got enhancements. You know, if you want to make the most of Onion Knight, these TMRs are probably going to be best in slot for a while. Let's see here, featured abilities. Yeah, so we went through this. I'm not going to go through all of his kit here. I think as a unit itself, again, longevity wise, we have seen the Dragon Quest units play out in JP for quite a while now, and they don't last too long. So in my opinion, again, it would be a Trust Master unit if you want to chase for that Trust Mastery, but a Super Trust Master unit if you want if you chase STMRs. But by then you would have him, so you would most likely use him maybe for a while. And again, it does depend on if whether he can chain with Orlando family. I can't say that for sure, but I'm pretty sure some of you guys might know that already. The next thing is a Uber Killing Machine. This would be my highlight. I think he's gonna be the main one I'm gonna be pulling for, and the reason again is Trust Masters. Now, this being a raid event, which we will talk about in a bit, this being a raid event, you'll most likely get their Trust Master rewards. You probably get enough Moogles to get an instant TMR. Now, because as I'm going to talk about later as well, we're gonna have a lot of units in the pool this time, so the likelihood of you actually getting 100% Trust Master on any of the units are going to be lower, just because the chances to get each Trust Master Moogle is going to be spread out. But the Trust Master reward itself is really good. Sledgehammer, 103 attack, that's not bad, but it also has Man-Eater. So with Man-Eater, it's a 50% physical damage to human types, and it has a 20% HP in a hammer. I think this is as high on HP passive as you can get in the hammer so far. This is counting other TMRs, other event rewards, and I think even STMRs. I don't think we have a hammer with 20% HP. Now, why this TMR is going to be really solid, and I would suggest definitely, even if you're free to play, pull a couple 4-star tickets for this. At least one. I plan to go for 2 or 3. Alright, 2 or 3, and the reason is because CG Sighart will be coming in the next couple months, and I plan to be pulling for him. He's gonna be my physical cover tank, my main one. I plan to, at least. Hopefully I get him, as I don't have Wilhelm, and Sighart can use hammers, and with 20% HP, that's really high. Now, in item world, the rare ability on hammers is a 15% HP and 15% defense, really perfect for physical tank, and so it's already really good for a tank. And then the reason why I might want to pull 2 or maybe 3 is because I would like to run another one in item world focused on boosting attack for the Man-Eater aspect. So units like Onion Knight, I believe, can use hammers, just to give out a couple dual wielders that could possibly use hammers to get more Man-Eater. So your killers can get really stacked. You can get really crazy. Another reason why you might want to pull for this is like units like Lid. So Lid has a passive, I think 30% HP when you equip with a hammer, and so you imagine this with enhanced in item world. Depends how much you get. Maybe you get like a total of 30% HP plus this. That's a 50% HP. You slap this on Lid, then your breaker becomes very tanky. That's a total of like 80% HP. Now obviously that goes without saying that any tank that can wield hammers will also get the benefit. Bosch can also use hammers, by the way, so definitely worth investing in this one. Like I said, my plan is maybe 2 or max 3. I don't think I need any more than 3. 1 for Lid, 1 for a physical attacker, and 1 for a physical tank if possible. Otherwise, I won't go into the unit kit as well. Again, they're not gonna be ones that bring so much. Now, there's one thing though, actually. He does have a skill called Multi-Slash, which is a 12 hit, 2.6 times physical attack modifier. A 12 hit looks like it's a possible chainable skill. I just don't know what it chains with. 12 hits I think is a Tornado, but I don't think he would be chaining with Tornado, so that's for more information, I think. Slime Knight has, if you're pulling for a Uber Killing Machine, you'll most likely get a couple of him. It's not terrible as well. Slime Shield, a 50% water resistance. This is, I think, probably the really good thing. I mean, 48 defense and 48 spirit is it's not small at all. That's as good and better than Asphalaz, which is also a light shield, which is 45 defense, 45 spirit. 50% water resistance. With a Leviathan, the Esper 3-star coming in probably 2 months ish, it might be a good idea to get a couple of these as well. You may as well if you're pulling for Uber Killing Machine and you get one or two Slime Knights. Don't be sad about it. It's really good. Units that you can't even equip light shields. If you have like equip light shield materia or even that gauntlet, that accessory that allows you to equip light shield, get an extra 50% water. It's better than an accessory, and it's better than an ability. No ability that I know of can give a 50% water resistance, and no accessory that I know of can give 50% water resistance. So you really think about like a healer that can't use light shields. You put this on them. That slot for the shield was pointless anyways, unless you give them a Bowie knife or something, or dual wielding staves. You put equipped light shield on it, and you get an extra 50% water resistance. This is super good. Okay, trust me, this is a really good one. So both 4-star units, I would say definitely spend a couple 4-star tickets for it. Obviously save your 3-star rare summon tickets. If you're pulling for these ones specifically, go for the 4-star. Just try to get them and get out, I think, in my opinion. We will talk about these two as well. Robin Hood and Golem the monster, they come back, and they're going to be in another banner that I'm going to talk about as well, the return banner. Now if you are pulling for East Stark, depending if you're pulling Lapis or tickets, you're going to get a couple of them anyway. I would say Golem stock up as well. Straight 40% defense is really good. Straight 40% defense without conditions, so you don't have to equip like heavy shield with it, etc. That's really good to have. So definitely, if you have a couple of them from the previous event, you know, don't need to pull for them anymore. But I would say you can stock up on this Trustmaster. It's really good, and especially with Viktor Marchenko as a variable, getting more defense for higher defense scale to attack. That's really good. So definitely get that. Like for example, the 40% defense, you can get that from Veritas of the Earth as well, but you have to equip I think you have to equip the shield in order to get 40% attack defense, and Viktor Marchenko won't you know, benefit from it. So it's really nice to have a lot of variety in your Trustmaster. Have flexibility. Robin Hood's TMR though, I would say you can definitely skip it. Again, if you have played the previous one, you probably have 1 or 2 of them already. 125 attack, you know, it's a really strong axe. Confusing one enemy, that's kind of neglectable. It's really just for the power, but it's not even that much power, and no killers on it, so it's definitely less appealing in my opinion. And for this week's event is a raid event, East Stark's challenge. So like I said, in this raid event, when you're pulling for the raid pulls, there is a possibility of you getting those Moogles from every single unit from the whole Dragon Quest collab. So that will include Dragon Lord, it will include Orochi, which we'll talk about. It should include everyone, and you have a low chance of getting Marquis de Leon. Marquis de Leon. Apparently he's a tank. Okay, so I'm not the first one to be surprised by this, but apparently he's a tank. I think he's a counter tank, if anything. I ran into him a couple times in JP Arena, but you can get him to 7-star. But apparently his drop rate is very low, like as low as a Rainbow, but maybe even lower. So you know, hopefully, I mean, he's free, and I mean he would be a 7-star unit. Because he's free though, he wouldn't be able to be blended in the blender or a mixer feature that JP has. Just letting you guys know, in case you guys are like, ooh man, we gotta stock up on him, and then you know, we can get like 500 blender coins every time you blend him. I don't think that's the case. From what I know, all free units don't, you can't blend them. It has to be rare summons. So even though he says 7-star, it looks really enticing, it's not that great. The Trust Master is good though. The Trust Master is 120 attack, 15% HP, and in claws. It's not terrible. It's rated 8 stars. You can see there. The Super Trust Master reward is really good though. The King of Beasts, so boost physical and magic damage against beast and avian monsters. I'm not quite sure the percentage of this. if it's dual monsters, it could be as low as 30% to 50%, but it's both physical and magic, so it's really nice to have. Hopefully, you know, I'm lucky enough to get 4 of him for that Super Trust Master, because Magic Beast Killer and Magic Avian Killer is really awesome, and then plus physical, of course. Yeah, I'm not gonna look at his kit too much here. Drakey, his Trust Master is good enough. Dark Resistance plus 15%. Although you can get more Dark Resistance from other sources, in my opinion. But anyways, you're gonna get these guys, and then of course Slime makes a return. I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna talk about the items here. The items, the reward raid craftable items are actually really good. I looked at it this morning and I was like, whoa, man, that's really good. So let me see here. Yeah, so the spear, Dragovian Spear, 90 attack, enables Dragon Killer and Demon Killer at the same time. Now this is separate killers. This is not a hybrid killer, so I'm assuming both are physical, attack damage against them, but 50%. I don't think it's gonna be any lower. These are the actual skills. So Dragon Killer has a 50% more damage to dragons. Demon Killer is for the demons, of course. And having it at a 90 attack spear is not bad. I would say the Demon Killer aspect is probably what is most exciting for me, as you do get a lot of Dragon Killer type of weapons already. With the Vision of Bahamut raid event, a pass event, and we had a rerun a couple months ago. You'll most likely have, if you have Roberta, hers is better Dragon Killer, and also Alhina's reward. I think it has Dragon Killer as well. So I mean, you're not lacking Dragon Killer spears, but the Demon Killer aspect in the spear is really interesting for me. Sacred Claw as well, with more Demon Killer. Attack 70, so you know, more killers the better. So even just looking at this, like right off the bat, I'm thinking about like past trials I've done, and like Diablos 3-star. I went with Sephiroth, but Leela would have been a really easy one. If you dual wield this with an extra Demon Killer in the fist with like Holy Wand or something, oh man, like plus Diablos and other Demon Killer sources, then yeah, Diablos 3-star won't stand a chance at all. It's gonna do so much damage. I'm pretty sure you could one-turn KO him with Leela straight from nothing, just with this equipped on him. Equipped on her, I mean. Sage's Staff, I mean, you'll fall off. These rewards will fall off, but the two on top there are probably the highlights for me. Sage's Staff is not that impressive. At 11 attack, 34 magic, 54 spirit. That's okay. Not even a TMR level. Dragon's Scale, 1 defense, 1 spirit, 10% HP, boost fire resistance by 15%. That might be very helpful, actually, the fire resistance by 15%. Trials like Omega, etc. Maybe you're lacking some fire resistance gear. Definitely craft that, of course. Other event limited equipment, I don't think these are craftable. I think these are referring to our rerun of Dragon Quest, which I'm gonna get to right now. And Deja Vu again. Dragon Quest, this is what we got a couple months ago. Dragon Lord, Orochi, I think are probably the big one, and Killing Machine and Liquid Metal Slime. These 4 are probably the highlights of this banner. Of course, Dragon Lord, we had him a couple months ago, and he had a global buff, which made him really incredible. Everyone knows his Kafrizzle is really nutty. He had a global upgrade in his Kafrizzle, and then on top of that, he got enhancements. And now in his 7-star awakening, I think he's gonna be most likely one of the strongest magic finishers, though locked to fire damage. Keep that in mind. Strongest magic damage finishers. Gonna be going forward for quite a long time, and the reason is because Dragon Lord has a cooldown ability that will enhance the mods for Kafrizzle. Now, because I can't say how that works, because JP never had the increased mods on global, but that we have on global, but I'm not quite sure. speculation would be that it would be still enhanced on top of the global upgrade, so it's gonna be quite insane. I can't wait to see the numbers on this. And I have said this before that I won't be pulling for Dragon Lord either. His Trust Master reward, although free, is not too enticing for me. This is like Ayaka's TMR, pretty much identical. I'm going to be getting almost 2 CG Fina S TMRs, which is just like a better version of this and Ayaka's TMR. So I'm not for sure not going to be chasing Dragon Lord. His Super Trust Master, to note, a 40% MP is really good if you're worried about MP. But my experience on JP is that most mages don't have MP problems, because as you have stronger mages that uses more MP, so do your MP batteries increase. Like, your MP batteries get way stronger. So later on, CG Fulco, when she's released, she is well, people call her an MP nuclear power plant, as that's how much MP she can get back for the entire team. Basically, spam skills to your heart's content. If you have units like Fulco, Rem 7-star will also be able to mitigate any MP problems, because if you have a LB fill on her and she's dedicated as a healer / kind of support, she can return AoE MP 180 of it for half of her LB gauge, and her LB isn't hard to fill to begin with, so it's not the best. And 159 magic is not even like that strong for an STMR. For an STMR, it lacks a bit of a punch. There are a couple STMRs that actually do beat this, but for sure Medina's STMR does beat this. So again, limited, comes around once, maybe you won't get him again, so maybe you want to pull for it. But I myself, I won't be pulling for Dragon Lord. I was never really into his kit, and yes, for 1-turn KO missions, he'll be awesome. But once you can't 1-turn KO any trials anymore with him anymore, his Kafrizzle won't be that useful anymore. We're just gonna get so many trials later in the future that either have damage mitigation or have soft HP locks, soft HP threshold locks, that you can't go past a 1-turn KO anyway. And because he doesn't have too much in his kit as terms of like support and survivability, it's a big skip for me. But for those of you who do have him already from the previous event, definitely be pulled for the second one, as at least you can make another 7-star. Orochi, his TMR is good. If you had Fidel's TMR from the Star Ocean banner, you don't really need this, but this does bring another aspect to it. Defense and spirit is increased when HP falls below a certain point, but the boost attack 40 is flat, and it is stackable. So maybe you want to pull a couple of him as well, just because you have the free Moogles this time around anyway, coming from the raid. Killing Machine, I would definitely recommend investing in. It's a 4 to 5-star unit here. Traumatizer Sword enables Machine Killer, has 114 attack. That's the boost. That's the boost in the global upgrade. The Machine Killer is really nice to have on a sword, and I would say, well, I do have 2 of him right now, so I'm not quite sure how hard I'll be pulling for Orochi, which I didn't get on the first time around, so I don't know. I would say 2 max would be as much as you need, but that's probably not, you don't need that much. Liquid Metal Slime, if you didn't get him the first time around, again, he's available. Really awesome physical provoke tank, because he has a innate damage, magic and physical damage mitigation. Although you can't really gear him with anything except accessories, he is okay. Like, he's okay. Yeah, his shield might be good for him, but it's actually it's probably better for someone else actually. But it's a decent TMR all around, and like I said before, Golem and Robin Hood, they make a return, so depends. So like I said before, I don't know if everyone should be pulling on this one, but if you have a Dragon Lord, definitely go for the 7-star. And Monster Carnival is returning. It feels like it returned really fast. I wasn't expecting this coming back as well, but if you watch the previous news, I'm not going to get into it too much. Urgic Sword, most of you could probably have it. Maybe we get a return of them, these items. So maybe you can get 2 of them. Demon Killer for Cultry Sword, if you do get a return, definitely highlight of, I use this so much, the Demon Killer aspect. I use the sword a lot already. Crow's Claws, you can get that as well. Big Boss Shield, I would say skip it. And Greyco's Trident, definitely get as well, has Aquan Killer. It's an ice elemental though, so it won't be really useful against someone like Leviathan, but Leviathan is Aquan, so you can just pick this up for future trials that might have aqua race. And because we have so many units now, this rerun, it's going to be really easy. It's going to be really easy. As you can see here, all the 7 stars get a 200% bonus. 6 stars get a 100%. If you get Marquis de Leon, it's 80% because he's free. 75% for all your 4 stars. So you're gonna get. This is gonna be really easy. This raid coming back is gonna be really easy, especially if you're pulling on them, or even if you have the units from the previous event already. You don't need to really pull for this if you don't want to. So you're still gonna get a lot of stuff. So, but if these rewards come back, definitely grind this raid. Assuming the tickets and stuff will come back, hopefully that would be really nice. And obviously, hopefully also you get the lapis as well from these completion rewards. So we have the Final Fantasy 11 Shrine Exploration. We have a Kieran again. Let's see here. So reduce its defense and spirit to deal lots of damage. Okay, you want to boost your resistance to fire, lightning, wind, and earth. Prepare to deal with sleep and blind status ailments. Okay, so it shouldn't be too hard. So there's 2 explorations, easy and hard. As usual, you can probably find a lot of loot as you're going through these explorations, and they share the same treasures, so you can go find all the loot in easy and then just tackle hard and focus on it. The completion reward is really awesome though. Kieran's Asode has a 50% light resistance on a light armor. This is really good, especially later on when we get Alexander 3-star. He does so much light elemental damage. You pretty much want to go in with 100% light resistance for all of your units. All right, for all of your units, kind of like Omega, where you had to go 100% fire resistance for all your units. You kind of want to go with light resistance for all your units innate, just going into the battle. So this would definitely come in handy. We will talk about the Alex 3-star when he drops. We will talk about more of the strategy and what to gear them for. But that's really good. 30 MP, 39 defense is not bad at all. You get a 5% in attack, defense, magic, and spirit. Definitely a really good. If you can rate these completion rewards, this would be like a 7 out of 9 stars for me, in my opinion. Deal wind damage 5 times or more, Faded Crystal 10,000 of it. No items, you get light resistance plus 20%. Again, very useful for trials like Alexander 3-star coming later. Defeat Kieran with a limit burst for your 5% Trust Moogle. So yeah, it's not shouldn't be too bad. Should be pretty straightforward. Vault of Hidden Treasures. This is available once a day for the next couple 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, almost 2 weeks. Do it every day. It's only once a day, so make sure you do it. You get a lot of stuff out of it. I think it's RNG. I think it's random, but you can find mega sites, enhancement pots, gill snapper families, and then king metal minotaurs in the Vault of Hidden Treasures. Definitely do this. Make sure you do it. Remember, once a day. You might not be able to see it unless you click on the actual vortex portal. It won't be like highlighted on top there, so you might need a reminder just to remind you guys, do it once a day. So that is it for the news of this week, guys. So as we predicted, Dragon Quest. Now people might be thinking, all right man, when is Hyo coming? I'm pretty sure Hyo is next week, if not the week after. Because we don't see any new 7-star batch, 7-star awakening batch out, I am assuming either the news is dropping later, or is it not going to come this week, which is kind of sad. I was kind of expecting it for this week, but if it's not this week, it's coming up. And if it's coming up, it could be next week. And if it's next week, it could be a filler event, which then Hyo might be delayed again. But of course, you guys may be saying that, well, it's not really delayed, you know, it's not delayed because we didn't expect him. Yeah, this is true. I'm definitely more interested and hyped about the 7-star awakenings coming up next. We have no idea who they're going to be, but perhaps we'll get some data after the maintenance actually, because people really love digging for that data mining. And so yes, so anyways, let me know what you guys think of the banner. A lot of stuff to process and a lot of units to pull for. Again, I think this is a TMR banner. If you get any of the off banner rainbows, or if you get any of the banner rainbows while pulling for like 4-star and 3-star units, that's really lucky of you. Definitely, you know, you get free TMRs anyways. Whether or not you'd be pulling for the 7-star and even the STMR is it's a bit iffy for me. If you got the resources, definitely go for it. I myself, like I said, I am going to be skipping for it, but I'm going for more of the 4-star units and maybe one more golem, just to get more defense material. Anyways, that's it for this session. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching and supporting my content, and I'll see you next time.